Kailangan mo ba talaga ng life insurance dito sa Canada? Panoorin mo itong video na ito at pag-usapan natin ano ba ang 10 common misconceptions pagdating sa usaping life insurance dito sa Canada. Ang una sa ating listahan is I'm too young to get life insurance or I'm too young to need life insurance. Now, in my personal opinion, age is no longer a contributing factor to whether or not you need life insurance. Kasi having worked in healthcare for almost 11 years, doon ko talaga masasabing walang pinipiling edad kung kailan ka pwedeng magkasakit o kung kailan pwedeng mawala ang isang tao. Accident and unexpected illnesses can happen anytime at any age. But let me give you a general rule of thumb kung nahihirapan kang magdesisyon kung kailangan mo ba talagang kumuha ng life insurance o ng financial protection para sa iyong pamilya dito sa Canada. Now, if there are people in your life who are close to you and whom you care about or who may financially rely on you dito sa Canada or sa Pilipinas, and in case na may mangyari sa'yo, they would be significantly affected financially. If that's the case, then you most likely need a life insurance, and that's the simplest rule of thumb. Kaya talagang naniniwala ako na age is really not a contributing factor to whether or not you need life insurance. It's much more dependent upon whether or not you have loved ones within your life that rely upon you financially, na if something were to happen to you, their financial well-being could be affected. So, nasa desisyon mo na yan bilang responsableng tatay, nanay, anak, ate, kuya, tita, tito o apo. Kung mahal mo ang pamilya mo, bibigyan mo sila ng proteksyon para naman hindi sila maging kawawa o maghirap sa panahong wala ka na para bigyan sila ng suporta. Number 2 is I have life insurance through my employer. Kung may life insurance ka sa pinagtatrabahuhan mo, talaga namang maganda yan. Maswerte ka dahil maraming trabaho dito sa Canada ang hindi nagbibigay ng kahit anong insurance sa mga nagtatrabaho sa kanila. Although having an insurance at work may be a good start though, I would say that in the vast majority of cases, you most of the time need more life insurance coverage. Kasi karamihan sa mga kumpanya dito sa Canada, ang kinukuha nila ay yung tinatawag na mga group plans kung saan meron kang makukuhang fixed na death benefit at karamihan nga dito sa mga kumpanya dito, ang naibibigay lang nilang coverage is between $50,000 to $100,000. Meron namang mga ibang kumpanya na binibase nila yung insurance coverage mo sa annual salary or kinikita mo sa isang taon na medyo hindi ganun kadalas na nangyayari. Pero may mga kumpanya dito, mga mangilan-ngilan, nakakapagbigay sila ng mga 100 to maximum of $200,000 of coverage. Pero ang pinaka-common na coverage sa mga companies here is talagang between $50,000 to $100,000 lang. Pero kadalasan, alam natin na hindi nga sapat itong halaga na ito, lalo na kung ikaw ay pamilyado o may mga anak ka, maybe marami kang responsibilidad sa Pilipinas o kung naman meron kang mga utang, meron kang mortgage, lalong-lalo na kung nakatira ka pa sa mga lugar na napakataas ng cost of living kagaya dito sa BC or sa Toronto. Talagang kulang na kulang yang halaga na yan kung yan lang ang maiiwanan mo sa pamilya mo in the event na may mangyari sa'yo. Ang work coverage mo ay makapagbibigay lang sa pamilya mo ng partial protection. So stop thinking na your work-life insurance is enough for your family. Hindi ba mas mainam na maging handa ka kung talagang mahal mo yung pamilya mo at magkaroon ka at maging sila man ng peace of mind na they will be taken care of 100%. They will be 100% protected. And they will be taken care of kung sakaling may mangyari sa'yo unexpectedly. Ang isa pa talaga ay kung ikaw naman ay magre-resign o malalay off or magre-retire ka, madalas ay hindi mo madadala yung work-life insurance mo, yung work coverage mo. Dahil yan ay benefits mo from work. Obviously, kung wala ka na sa work mo, hindi na rin effective yung group plan mo. What if you wanna change your job in the future for some reason and yung bago mong mapupuntahang trabaho ay walang insurance coverage na pinoprovide. Baka at that time, mas matanda ka na o baka naman may mga nararamdaman ka na rin o may mga sakit ka na rin. If that happens, your options will be limited and most of the time, it's going to be more expensive na kasi dun mo palang marirealize na importante pala na meron kang personal life insurance coverage. Number 3 common misconception is I have a mortgage insurance, so I'm good. Okay, so first of all, not only is mortgage protection insurance and life insurance are two completely different products, but the amount of insurance that you would get to pay off your mortgage is not going to be enough for all the additional expenses that would accrue if you were to pass away. It's good to pay off your mortgage if something happens to you because that's a big debt. Pero hindi lang naman yan yung responsibilidad mo na iiwan sa pamilya mo. Paano na yung mga additional expenses like other debts, your funeral expenses, childcare expenses, child education, ongoing living expenses, and anything above and beyond your mortgage? Not only it is not going to be enough, but it's also an inferior product that is usually mas mahal and in some cases, baka hindi pa siya mag-pay out in the end. And I will make a separate video about mortgage insurance para i-discuss natin doon kung ano ba itong mortgage protection insurance na ito and bakit kung hindi siya magandang protection for your mortgage. Ngayon, kung may mortgage insurance ka, I would highly recommend looking at replacing it with an actual personal life insurance policy. Again, I will discuss that in another video because that's a whole different topic on its own. Number 4 is it's always better to just save your money and invest instead of wasting it on life insurance. And I get this often from my clients. They ask, should I just take out the money that I would spend on life insurance policy and put that into an investment account? And kagaya nga ng nabanggit ko, walang nakakaalam kung kailan natin kakailanganin itong insurance natin. Accidents can and do happen and we have no choice as to when we get sick or when we die. Sometimes things just happen and we do not control them. Paano kung dumating yung araw na wala ka ng enough savings or wala ka pang enough savings and investments? Paano kung bagsak yung market sa araw na nawala ka or nagkasakit ka? Ano na mangyayari sa'yo? Ano na mangyayari sa pamilya mo? There are so many affordable options out there to cover you for a period of time when you and your family are the most vulnerable to financial difficulties. So I would say that in almost all cases, it's not better to invest. It's better to buy a cheap, inexpensive insurance products to cover yourself for that period of time. And if something were to happen to you, your loved ones would be taken care of financially. However, with that being said, permanent life insurance is a whole other bucket of worms din. At gagawa nga ako ng another video dyan para sagutin naman yung tanong na, is it better ba to invest in an actual investment or is it better to invest in a life insurance policy? And this is a whole topic on its own. But I would say this real quick. In majority of cases, for majority of Filipinos here in Canada, it is much better to not invest in life insurance, especially if you're a newcomer, perhaps hindi ka pa permanent, hindi pa permanent yung status mo dito, o kahit naman permanent resident ka na or citizen ka naman, but you fall under the low to middle income family, and kahit naman you're making good income or you're making high income na, as long as hindi mo pa na ma-maximize yung mga registered accounts natin dito sa Canada where you have so much tax benefits, then you shouldn't be entertaining the idea of putting your investments in an insurance policy. This is a trap that a lot of Filipinos fall into dahil sa mga mabubulaklak na pangako in this land na 99.9% of the time will not perform as projected ng mga advisors na nagbibigay sa inyo ng products na ito. So kung may life insurance ka and you're paying big amount of premiums because of retirement income or investments in the future, yung pwede kang mag-loan, pwede mong isangla yung policy mo, then you better revisit your plan if that plan is really a plan na suitable for you because sinabi ko nga, majority of the time, it's not for you. It's only going to work for high net worth individuals who are already maximizing their registered investment accounts. Now, I'm not against permanent insurance, but I'm against how it's being sold and promoted to Filipinos na parang candy lang kung ibenta ng ibang advisors na talagang parang nothing can go wrong sa mga plans na ito. This is a whole separate topic on its own. So, sa ibang video ko na lang ito e-elaborate. But based on facts and numbers, for the vast majority of Canadians and Filipinos here in Canada, investing in life insurance is not a good idea unless you have maxed out all your registered investment accounts na meron tayo dito sa Canada. Number 5 is it's a hassle to get life insurance. Well, it used to be, but thanks to COVID because everything can be done through Zoom na. Digital na rin ang pagpipirma ng mga documents and kung may medical ka man na kailangang gawin, may mga blood works na kailangang gawin, yung company na mismo ang magsisend ng mga taong pupunta sa bahay mo para gawin itong mga test na ito. I have clients all over Canada from different provinces and I'm able to protect them virtually because our appointments, contracts, and application documents can now all be signed electronically. At kung wala ng medical at healthy ka, mabilis na rin yung approval mo. Pero nga kung may sakit ka na dahil nag-procrastinate ka sa pagkuha ng life insurance mo, then yes, it will be a hassle for you. But generally, it's never been easier to get a life insurance. Number 6 misconception is that life insurance isn't good because I don't get my money back. Now, I actually hear this quite a few times from quite a few different clients. Ang tanong ko lang dito is, what other insurance do you pay for that you get your premiums back? Like, you insure your house, you insure your car, you insure your gadgets, you insure all these other things that you don't get your premiums back at the end of the term. However, your life, which is literally one of the most important things, and taking care of your family if something bad were to happen to you, that's the one thing that you want your premiums back for. Pero meron din namang way to get some money back in the end after the term of your policy. There's so many different ways to structure your life insurance depending on your goals and your financial situation. But it shouldn't be an issue to not get your premiums back at the end of the term. And especially kung ang kukuhanin mo is yung tinatawag na term or temporary life insurance because it's so inexpensive compared to other insurance products out there. Well, if you want a way to return the premiums that you paid in case you don't use your coverage, then obviously it comes with a cost. Permanent insurance is a great layer of protection pero syempre, mas magmamahal ang monthly premium na ibabayad mo because of that added layer of protection because permanent insurance is going to last until age 100. Number 7 misconception is that life insurance companies are always going to try and find some type of loophole to deny your claim and not pay out. Now, I'm going to tell you right now that this is not how it works. Pag-usapan natin ng mabilisan, ano ba yung mga rason kung bakit pwedeng ma-deny ang insurance claims mo dito sa Canada? Ang unang sitwasyon kung saan nagde-deny ng claim ang insurance company is kapag yung cause of death mo ay suicide. Kasi meron tayong tinatawag na 2-year suicide clause. Ibig sabihin yan, sa unang 2 taon na simula kinuha mo yung policy mo, hindi i-cover ng insurance company kapag ang cause of your death is suicide. Now, after those first 2 years, pwede na siyang maging covered. Pero for the first 2 years, walang coverage kapag ang cause ng death ay suicide. Pero for the first 2 years, walang coverage na makukuha kapag ang cause ng death ay suicide. Another thing that they can deny a claim for is misstatement or intentional fraud on your application. Kasi minsan, maraming taong nag-aakala na pwede silang makalusot sa insurance company. So, ang gagawin nila, hindi nila i-disclose yung isang bagay or baka iibahin nila yung information, iibahin nila yung statement sa application nila. Pero in the end, ang risk naman yan is may risk na ma-deny yung claim mo o yung claim ng family mo come claim time. Ito, seryosong usapan lang. Don't try to mess up with insurance companies because they have a way to find out if the information you provided in your application is accurate or not. Tried and tested ko na yan with some of my clients. Ngayon, ano pa ba yung pwedeng maging sanhi ng tinatawag na fraud sa application? Kapag hindi ka nagsabi ng totoo tungkol sa iyong mga habits or sa mga medical history mo. Sana itong video na ito ay magsilbing warning sa inyo na kailangan mong sabihin ang totoo kung gusto mong mag-payout ang claims mo sa panahong kailangan mo ito o ng pamilya mo. Uulitin ko lang, walang insurance company dito sa Canada ang gustong mag-deny o sasadyaing mag-deny ng insurance claim mo. Bakit? Kasi sasama yung image nila sa mga tao kung puro deny ang claims ng mga kliyente nila. Siyempre, ayaw nilang maging headline. 'Di ba? Ayaw nilang mapunta sa balita dahil pwede silang magkaroon ng bad publicity kapag nangyari yon. Siyempre, dahil may chance na malugi yung kumpanya nila dahil mawawalan sila ng mga kliyente. Obviously, they want to pay all the claims. So, I would say that as long as you don't lie on your insurance application, then you will never have any concerns about the life insurance company denying your claim or your family's claim here in Canada. Now, may isa pang rason kung bakit maaaring ma-deny ang iyong claim dito sa Canada. At yan yung tinatawag na Slayer Rule. The Slayer Rule in Canada refers to a legal principle that prevents a person from inheriting money or property from someone they killed, either intentionally or through reckless actions. So, if someone is found responsible for the death of another person, they are not allowed to benefit from that deceased person's will or estate. This rule ensures that a person cannot profit from their crime. Yan yung tinatawag na Slayer Rule dito sa Canada. Number 8 misconception naman is I'm not eligible for life insurance because I'm either too old or I have some type of pre-existing condition or other lifestyle decisions that you might think prevent you from getting life insurance. Well, that's simply not true. Maraming options pa ang pwede mong makuha kagaya ng simplified and guaranteed issue products. Another common one is if you're engaged in some type of risky sports, such as maybe hang gliding or parachuting or mountain climbing. People think that there might not be life insurance that will cover them and not have any exclusions. And that's not true as well. There's definitely so many options nowadays for different individuals that have different conditions, different ages, and that have different lifestyle decisions and different habits. If you maybe fall in one of these categories and think you can't get life insurance, then chances are you probably can. You might just need to talk to a broker na may access sa iba't ibang options for you. Number 9 misconception is that caregiver or stay-at-home spouses do not need life insurance. And this is just simply not true. As a stay-at-home parent, you play a big role in supporting your family, your kids, and your spouse to allow him or her to work to provide financial support for the family. Just because hindi ka nag-work and stay-at-home parent ka, doesn't mean na hindi mo na kailangan ng insurance or ng financial protection. Kapag sa kasamaang palad ay nawala kang bigla or nawala bigla ang iyong spouse o yung partner mo, sa tingin mo ba magiging madali ang transition mo na maging all-around parent for all your kids? Siyempre, kakailanganin mo ng tulong hindi lang ng emotional and mental support, kung hindi lalo na din ay financial support din. If something were to happen to your spouse, what are you going to do to replace all the work that your spouse or your partner is doing at home? If you think all of a sudden magically you're going to have enough time to do all the things that they were doing while also trying to recover from the sudden and unexpected death of your partner, then you are definitely mistaken. So get financial protection for each other because both of you plays a big role in providing and supporting for the whole family. And last common misconception is that life insurance is too expensive. Well, I'll say a few things about this. Unang-una, nabanggit natin kanina na maraming insurance products out there. Maraming klase ng insurance ang pwede niyong kuhanin dito sa Canada. Depende sa pangangailangan mo at syempre, depende na rin sa budget and sa goals mo. Here's my recommendation. If you have a need for life insurance just for a specific period of time, one of the most affordable and cheap ways that you can do to protect your whole family is to get a term or temporary insurance. But be sure to get the most flexible term insurance out there that you can later improve or upgrade if you need to. Once na mag-better na yung finances mo, make sure your term insurance is exchangeable to a longer term. Make sure it is also convertible. So in case in the future, you want to convert some of that term insurance to a permanent coverage that will last for you until age 100, pwede mo siyang ma-convert. And lastly, make sure that it is renewable. Avoid getting term insurance that you later cannot improve or upgrade. Now, there are companies out there that just sell pure term insurance, and you want to make sure that you avoid those companies at all costs because not only they will sell you one of the most expensive term insurance in the market, your option is also very limited if you want to upgrade or improve your insurance in the future. What's good about term insurance is it's cheap, inexpensive, and very flexible. Kung limited ang budget mo, but you understand na sobrang importante ng may financial protection ka para sa pamilya mo, then kumuha ka muna ng term insurance. Siyempre, kukuhanin mo rin yung pinaka-flexible na term insurance out there. Ang importante dyan ay magkakaroon ka ng protection at magkakaroon ka ng seguridad at kapanatagan na kahit anong mangyari sa'yo, your family will be taken care of. Now, kung gusto mo naman ng permanent insurance, then get yourself one. But to make it less expensive, you can mix it or layer your permanent insurance with some term insurance to cover your big upfront needs such as your mortgage, debts, and kids' education. The idea here is over time, you will pay these things off and lalaki na rin yung mga anak mo in the future and magkakaroon na rin sila ng mga sarili nilang pamilya, sarili nilang mga anak. So once na mag-expire na yung mga big term insurance mo, yung permanent insurance na lang ang matitira to pay for maybe taxes on your debt and yung natitira doon is magiging pamana mo na lang para sa pamilya mo. But what I want you to know is you don't need to get caught up in all these complicated questions of should you just get term and invest the difference or should you get permanent insurance so you're covered for the rest of your life? Term insurance is not for everyone, just as permanent insurance is not for everyone. So nothing is one size fits all. Kailangan dito sa pagkuha sa iyo ng life insurance is pina-personalize based on your needs, your goals, and your budget. If you feel na sobrang laki ang binibigay sa yung options, yung babayaran mo every month ng advisor mo, then it's probably time to look for a second opinion. Life insurance should be based on your objective and your overall financial situation. And lastly, stop falling into tactics that insurance is a great investment vehicle before all your tax advantage registered accounts. Maging matalino na po tayo at wag basta-bastang naniniwala without doing your due diligence. And that concludes our video tungkol sa 10 common misconceptions about life insurance here in Canada. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit the notification bell para updated kayo sa mga bagong videos kong i-release every single week. I hope you learned a lot in this video. If you need help in getting you the right life insurance coverage based on your goals and your budget, then feel free to message me on Facebook and on one of my social media accounts. Just type in my full name, Sheila Kabukol, and I'd love to make sure your life insurance is set up correctly here in Canada. Hanggang sa muli at magkita-kita tayo sa susunod na episode ng She Loves Finance.